Hey everyone, it's Jananie and welcome back to my channel, This Story Ain't Over. So today I'm coming to you with a kind of video that I've never actually done before now that I think about it. I usually only like to talk about what's inside a book, but today I'm going to talk about what's on the outside. So today's video is all of my favorite covers from 2020. So these are all 2020 releases where I found the cover to be super eye-catching, and like kudos to these cover artists and illustrators who did such an amazing job. And working in publishing, I do see the other side of this. I do see cover design sometimes, and honestly it takes so much to get to final covers, so I can't even imagine the number of iterations that most of these covers have gone through. But I'm like so excited by all of them, and actually most of them I really enjoyed the actual book on the inside as well, so that's really nice. So I've kind of split this video into two sections. So there are the contemporaries that I love the covers for, and then there are like sci-fi fantasy books that I love the covers for. So I'm just gonna split them up and leave timestamps down below if you are only interested in a certain kind of genre. So I'm gonna start with the contemporaries, and one of my favorite covers of this year is Anna K by Jananie. And there's something about the simplicity of this cover. It's like the bold blue background with like the light pink, and it like goes onto the spine as well. And I love the photographs of the girl on the cover who really fits kind of how I imagine Anna K to be. And this was actually one of those covers that actually convinced me to buy the book. I didn't actually know anything about this aside from maybe a little bit about the Anna Karenina thing, but I had seen a few people on Bookstagram like, you know, rave about it, and I kept seeing the cover and I was like, you know what, maybe I should just buy this. And I did, and I devoured it, and I loved this book so much. It is like so soapy and so dramatic, but it's such an enjoyable read, and I think the cover really reflects kind of the vibe I felt while reading it. And it's just so classy, and I love that. And I cannot wait for the second book coming out next year, which is Anna K Away, which also has a beautiful cover, but I think I'm partial to this one. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful book. Another contemporary with a super bold cover that drew me in was Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. This is one of my favorite books of this year. It was so amazingly done, and it's such a like hard-hitting thriller, and it delves into so many different issues, but I think the cover is what really drew me from the beginning. I had seen this on like cover reveals, and I didn't know anything about the book, and I hadn't yet read more of Tiffany D. Jackson's books. I'd only read, I think, Let Me Hear a Rhyme. This cover is just so gorgeous. Like Anna K, it has like the bold, solid background, which I love, and then it has this beautiful illustration of the main character, Enchanted, and honestly, she just looks so beautiful, and she's like glowing in this, and I love it. And I also feel like it really fits the vibe of the book, because although she looks so beautiful, you can see there's like a bit of emotion in her eyes. Like she doesn't look happy on the cover, which is really reflective of what happens in the book, I feel like, and I just love it so much. And I love the earring as well, and like the fact that the title is in her earring, like I just love that so much. And I love the marketing that they did with this, with the earrings that they sent to influencers. Is so cool. But love this so much. I think it's such a wonderful cover, and Tiffany D. Jackson's books are just so amazing, and a lot of her covers kind of follow this similar theme of like a solid background, which I love. So yeah, it's like my new favorite thing, and I just love it so much. Like this illustration is what does it for me, and it's just so amazing. The next cover that I love isn't necessarily because I think it's beautiful, but I think I love the message that it sends, and that is I'll Be the One by Lila Lee. It is a beautiful cover. I love the colors on this. I don't think you can actually see them very well on my camera, but what I love about this cover is that in the book, the main character is this fat bisexual Korean American teen who is like trying to break, you know, social norms, and she's just trying to be like loud and proud and herself, and I think this cover really reflects that. And I love like the rainbow in the background, and I love the model that they got for the cover, because she just is exactly how I imagine the main character Sky in the book. And it's overall just a really like fun, beautiful cover, and I really love the back as well, because she's just like looking cute and pretty on the, you know, strips of color, and I honestly just love it so much. And I just love how it's so colorful, and it really invokes like the happy and fun nature of the book, because this is one of those books that it's like a huge pick-me-up, and the cover super reflects that. All right, the next and last contemporary that I have to mention is 10 Things I Hate About Pinky by Sandhya Menon. As you guys know, I love Sandhya Menon books. This is the one that I have not read yet, and I'm hoping to pick it up soon, but I love this cover just because it's, again, a South Asian main lead on the front cover, which I love, and I love seeing, because I did not get that when I was younger. younger. The thing I love about this particular cover is the way that the main character's personality comes through, and I just love the color in her hair, and it's just super cute, and I love her smile. And it's funny because the model looks like someone I actually know in my life who's also South Asian, and so it's like really kind of eerie in a sense, but I think it's such a beautiful photograph, so that's why I love this cover. Okay, now on to the sci-fi fantasies that I loved the covers for. So the first one I'm mentioning is going to be really obvious to a lot of you, but that is A Sky Beyond the Storm by Sabaa Tahir. This is the fourth and final installment of the Ember and the Ashes series, and this is probably my favorite of the 4 covers for 2 main reasons. One, I love all of the covers, but I just love the kind of power in Laya's pose in this cover. She is holding the scythe that shows up in the book, and she just has like this really like epic expression, and I love the way her hair kind of flows out. And then the second reason I love this cover is the color. You guys probably don't know this, but my favorite color is purple, and so as soon as I found out that the final book was gonna be purple themed, because each of the previous books has like a color scheme to it. So the first one was red, second one was blue, third one was green, and so this was purple. And as soon as I found that out, I was like, game over. I love this already. And you can see them all on the back here if you wanted a sense, but yeah, I just love this so much, and the book itself is just amazing, and I just overall love it. And for this series, this was also one of those times when I was seeing South Asian main leads on the cover, which made me super happy. So I love this 2 pieces, and yeah, I just love this cover so much. And it's like one of those photographic covers that has like a really bold vision to it. And I also love the way in these covers that the like color kind of seeps in from the bottom into the stock images, which love. Alright, the next book that I love the cover for is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. So I'm holding up 2 versions of the cover. So this is the Owl Crate edition, and this is the original hardback, and they're both beautiful, and they just have like a slight difference in the colors and the way that they're on the page. But I personally actually really like this original version better, but I think this is still very stunning. But the reason I love this cover is mainly for the art and the way that they depicted the main character, Bree. She is just so beautifully rendered on the front of this cover, and I love the way that they like added in all of her hair, and it's just so beautifully drawn, and I love like the intense expression that she has on. But I also really love the way that the magic is kind of rolling around her arms, and like she has like this cool kind of pose where she's like kind of conjuring the magic, and then the title kind of appears really nicely in the middle. And overall it's just a really stunning cover. Like I'm just always captivated by Bree's eyes when I like look at this, and I think the colors are just so complementary that it looks so nice. But yeah, I'm just like loving the direction towards all these covers with like very strong characters on the cover, illustrated really beautifully, or you know, depicted really beautifully, or photographed, and I'm just loving it, and especially when they're POC main leads. On that note, I really love the cover of Hunted by the Sky by Tanes Bathena. Oh my god, just fell in love with this cover the second I saw it. It is just this beautiful illustration of this girl, South Asian girl, and it is set in like a ancient India adjacent fantasy world. But I love like the surrounding artwork and like in the background, and kind of the outfit that she's wearing as well. And I love her earrings and just the way that she's kind of like looking, you know, over her shoulder. It's just like so cool. So yeah, I was just like captivated by the illustration of the girl on the front, but I also just really like the colors as well. They're just like so popping and like eye-catching, and I just love it so very much. All right, the next book is one that I bought entirely because of the cover, and that is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and I haven't read this yet, but I'm so excited to. And this is a Gothic horror set in the Mexican countryside, which is super cool, and I just love this cover so much. It has our Mexican lead on the front, and she's just wearing this like beautiful dress, and I love the wallpaper in the background that she's sitting in front of, and I just think the colors work so beautifully together, while also giving like this kind of Gothic vibe to it, and then like the kind of flowers down here. But yeah, overall it's just like really beautiful, and she's wearing like a stunning lipstick to match the dress, and it's just like one of those really bold, beautiful covers. Okay, next I have Sky Hunter by Marie Lu. This is one of probably my favorite of Marie Lu's covers, I think. I'm not quite sure. I really love the Legend series covers because they go so well with each other, at least the first three, and I love like the color schemes, but I love, love, love the colors on this cover, and it extends like all around, and I just can't even imagine how they did this art, but it's just so beautiful. And I think in general, this package is just really wonderful. It also has Sky Hunter written on the side of the pages, which is so cool because that requires like putting little tabs of color on the ends of the pages on every single page to make that happen, which is just so cool. And I just love the way that like the colors kind of stream across, and it's just like, it looks like a painting, and it's just so beautiful. And I love that you can see like the, you know, main character down there, and then there's kind of this like impression of a bird as well down here. And then the other thing I love about this book, and kind of the cover, this kind of relates, kind of doesn't, but it's the inside cover that does it for me. It has Sky Hunter across the front, and then it kind of, you know, gives you those colors again in this beautiful, beautiful, soft, like hardback, and I just love it so very much. But yeah, it's just like a beautiful package overall, and I think they did a really great job with it. The next cover that I loved is Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin. I really loved the cover for Serpentine Dove, and this one was likewise like also really, really beautiful. And I love, once again, like the solid color background and then something on the front, and I just love how like intricate it is. I think Epic Reads like posted like zoomed in parts of this cover, and it was like so pretty, and I just love how like bold and like shiny it is, and it just goes really well with the first book as well, while also looking really different. So I really love this. Okay, and then the second last cover that I loved is Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis. So this is the Owl Crate edition of it, and it's like this beautiful like embossed hardback, and has a quote on the back: "The stage is set, the spectacle awaits." And I actually really, really love this version of the cover, but I also really love the original cover, so I'll put it over here. It's kind of like the curtains and like the reds, and I just love that. It was just so beautiful, and I think I really wanted to pick it up just looking at the cover, but I think this cover also really kind of captures the vibe of the book, and I just love the girl on like the chandelier with like the mask, and it just fits so beautifully. And then the final cover that I love is actually a super simple one, but I just love how the simplicity of this cover really fits the story, and that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So this is the Owl Crate edition, and I will say that this one is like a lot simpler than even the original cover, which is right here, but I love the way that the cover calls to the freckles on Addie LaRue's face, which make like a constellation of stars, and so they've kind of connected them across the title, and you can kind of see it here too. So I love that, and I just love how like epic it is, and it really fits an adult's title as well. But I think it just fits the simplicity of the story, and, you know, just following Addie's life and seeing kind of the journey through the stars. And then I also love on the Owl Crate edition the back part, which has a quote from the book, and it says, "Never pray to the gods that answer after dark." And apparently that was the first line that Victoria Schwab wrote of the book, which is kind of super cool. So yeah, I really love that. But yeah, overall, this cover is like really nice, and I think I just love the simplicity of it. But those are all of the covers that I loved from 2020. I think although 2020 kind of sucked, there were some really beautiful covers this year. So I wanted to kind of chat about them because I never really kind of do that. I never really judge my books based on a cover for you guys. So I thought I would do that. Let me know if you guys liked this video, and if you would like me to do something like this again, or if you'd like me to do like my favorite covers of all time. I'd love to do that. But also let me know down below what your favorite covers of 2020 were. I'd love to know, and I'll probably get some wonderful recommendations from those. Thank you so much for watching, and go check out my Instagram and Twitter and Goodreads down below in the description if you want to get more updates on my reading, and I will see you in my next video. So please remember that this story ain't over. Bye!